I've got a gas water heater that seems to be leaking out of the bottom. There's some water building up there and it looks like there's some rust down there, so it's been dripping from somewhere, and I suspect it's this drain because they're cheap plastic and they're known to fail. I've got a hose here. I'm gonna drain the tank and just try to swap that out and see if that makes a difference. So I'm gonna start with turning it off. Turning off the water. Turning off the city water. And I'll drain the hot water out of this side of the hot water line. So this will help drain the lines, the hot water lines for the house, and also let air come in when it starts draining out. That's hot, I can feel it. Don't think it's getting enough air, so I'll open this vent. There. Now it's draining strongly. So the water's off, the heater's off. I'll let that drain out and come back and swap out that drain. I think we're getting to the end of it now. The water's not quite so hot. It's been draining quite a while. I just try to be careful I don't drop my phone in the sewer. Don't know which would be worse, getting scalded by the water or dropping my phone. I guess if I got scalded, I still have the video. There, I think it's starting to peter out. I did not think it would take that long. But we're getting there. There we go, with the final trickle. That took forever. I had no idea it would take that long. So I've been waiting here for it to drain. These ones aren't where it's at. They were expensive, but it's worth it. They have a little spring-loaded mechanism. It locks it. You can select the place and it locks it. It won't trip down how most channel locks do. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so that was definitely cracked. So I gotta get something to least I can see the size of it. Yeah, there's definitely some scum in there. Let's see if I have an extractor that big. Maybe just a big old screwdriver. We'll see. See what I've got in the shop. So I've got some external removers. These are Milwaukee. Never used them, but I always thought they'd be super handy to take off a nut. Got some smaller internal ones, but nothing that's gonna fit that. Some tabs. It's not really gonna help me. So I'm just gonna see. I might have a screwdriver that'll fit that. Same. Nope. This might work if I can tap this in. Try tapping this in. Probably 1/2 inch or 12 millimeter will work on that spline. Just a small hammer. I'll try tapping that into the one on the tank, and even if it chews it up eventually, I'll be able to twist it out with something. That's not really working, it's just spinning in there. That's okay. Try to use a hammer to break that out without chewing up the threads. So I've got one of my blacksmithing chisels in there. I'm just gripping with the pliers, and it'll turn. It's turning out of there. So that's starting to come out of there. Just happen to have this chisel that fit in. This is one that I made. I blacksmithed this from a piece of round stock tool steel. It's one of the first things I ever made blacksmithing. You see my initials there. I marked it up a bit with those pliers, but you do what you gotta do to get this out. So I'll finish turning that out. So it started to come out and then it started to break off, so I'll just use the pliers. Take those pieces out. Try not to damage the threads inside there. That plastic is really stuck. There we go. Got it out. I don't think I damaged the threads at all. Yeah, there's some scale inside there. So I'll clean these threads, get that new drain in, and then flush it out a bit. There, so I've got that cleaned out. Got this Teflon and doped up. this off, I think. So I took off that valve, or the lever, the handle on it, because once it's all the way seated, it's not going to be able to open. So that just leaves a little stem there to twist with the pliers, which is absolutely fine. Keeps anybody from monkeying with it, not that anybody would. Or bumping it, perhaps. Turn in there anyhow. Try that, make sure it doesn't leak. So I've got the water to the house back on. Just gonna close this hot water for now. So the new drain is in and it's open. This is off. I'm just gonna try flushing it with some cold water. I think anything that was in there flushed out. Got this open. I'm just letting the water fill the tank. But I don't want that to overflow. So put that back on. And I think I'll just open the hot water on the washer to let the air come in. Or let the air escape, I mean, in the water as the water comes in. Surplus air should come out this hose. Yeah, there's definitely air coming out of there. And that way, when the water gets to the top and starts coming out of there, you know it's full. There we go. The hot water's starting to come out. So shut that off. The tank is full. Turn it back on and see what happens. Of course, this is leaking a little bit. So the new boiler drain is in. No leaks. And I noticed as I was doing it that this pressure release valve was also weeping. And sometimes they kind of dry up, but this one's still weeping. So I'll replace it, and I think from now on, anytime I replace one of these boiler drains, if it's a plastic one that's cracked or just a brass one that happens to be leaking, I'm going to do them in tandem with these. I would have done it, I just didn't have one that was long enough on hand, so I had to actually go and buy one with the longer pipe on it. So I'm going to go ahead and install that now. So I've got this hose on just to drain it, to direct the water in there. And I'll shut this off. Shut off the cold. And open this up until it drains. I'll take this out. Gonna get this one ready to go. It's already got some sort of sealant on it, but I'll just top it up with a little bit of dope. Dope it up. And I've got a bucket and a rag down there, ready to catch any drips. And I'll just pull this one out and put this one in. And that's that. Now I don't know what has been going on here. This is nasty. So that's going in my scrap pile for my brass. Ugh. Then this overflow extension goes in. The new drain is in, it's dry, nothing's dripping anymore. And the pressure relief valve has also been replaced, no drips. So we're good to go.